you have removed them. I thought there was more sitting there, so I thought they sit here.
Last time, the message was, जो सच रते तिन सच्चो भाव है। आपे दे न पछोतावे, गुर के शब्द सदा सच जाता, मिल सच्चे सुख पावने-aa। Those who choose the path of truthfulness, those who walk and talk the same message, which is truth, nothing but the truth, जो सच रत्ता, Rate literally means to be absorbed in something so much that no process can now separate it. Jo sach ratta, those who have taken that path, then सच्चो भाव है. Then they do not tolerate any falsehood. They are only interested in the pure truth. And we have discussed it before that 99% truth is actually the falsehood. Truth can be either 100% or not at all. You cannot fudge it. You cannot make exception under any set of circumstances. When we say, okay, I haven't done this all my life, but just this once, that just this once will make it a falsehood. As a human being, we find it completely unreasonable. Why be so rigid? It's not a question of rigidity. It's not a question of stubbornness. It's not a dictatorship. It is the very definition. If you place a stick of butter close to the fire and the butter starts melting, have you ever said, can you not make one exception for me? What would the fire say? This is my intrinsic nature. I am not doing anything exceptional, different or separate to you. Your butter stick or her butter stick or his butter stick, my nature is when butter is close by, it will melt. I'm not being unreasonable. I'm not being stubborn. The definition of the truth is 100% pure truth. The definition of lie, anything other than the truth. So if you are keeping 1% lie, it has become a lie. That's why this reminder, jo sach ratta tin sacho bhav. Now the falsehood become intolerable, uneasy, uncomfortable, unacceptable. Who put down this rule? It's not a man-made rule. Bi-aapay na pachhaaneh. He has put down these rules and he is not sorry for it. He has no regrets. Na pachhaaneh. He doesn't look back and say, majority of the humanity doesn't like this rule I made, so I may modify it a little bit. It doesn't work in his world. Once the rules have been put down, they have been put down for eternity. We can argue with it, and we can give very sophisticated, philosophical, intellectual arguments. Last night I was watching a British scientist. He's an evolutionist, very popular around the world. His name is Richard Dawkins. And I was completely thrown off that after 1.5 hours of talk on the evolution of the entire species on the planet, the final admission is that we still do not know how an organic molecule, self-replicating molecule evolved. How the DNA code evolved. Because the DNA code is visible only in the cell. That's a lie. They call it organic molecule or self-replicating molecule. It was stunningly, almost hilarious for me that 150 years of preaching to the world that we can prove that this whole cosmos came without the need of a creator. And the books after books, as a matter of fact, there is a book on the market called Something from Nothing. Now look at the entrapment of the mind. The hypothesis is, if you leave the space as it is and do nothing, except the water molecule, everything starts growing by itself. You don't need a God. Can you penetrate this statement? You leave the atmosphere and the water molecule. Everything grows by itself. Can anybody catch the assumption. Water molecule is organic. It's alive. It's life. पहला पानी जियो है. The very first thing alive on the planet was the water molecule. Scripture says very directly. साचे ते पवना भया, पवने ते जल होए, जल ते त्रे भवन साजया, घट घट जोत समोए. The creator, Sacha, life energy, pavan, air. Those who you do pranayama, exercises, something very hidden secret not normally talked about. When you quiet the mind enough and you take a breath in and you look at, you just focus your attention closer to your lips, you will see a shaft of air, a cylindrical form of air going into your body. And as you conscientiously evolve further, you will find that right in that cylinder center there is a fine line, a streak of energy flowing through that cylinder. That is your life energy. That's your true old prana. You can see that coming in and going out. A yogi fully well versed in pranayama can predict the passing away of the body 6 months before, 6 months earlier. Why? Because by watching the prana energy going in, when the prana energy stops going in and only air, from that moment, body will take 6 months to completely disintegrate. And they can predict. It's a documented thing. A scientist does not accept the fact that the space and the air is life energy. Water is an organic molecule. So life is possible. But they won't accept it. If you are going to start with the assumption that there was a space and then there was matter, and that matter, because it was hot enough that it was able to fuse into each other. Two phenomena in nature, science students know it. One is called fusion, the other is called fission. Fusion means when two atoms merge with each other, that's fusion. When a single atom is broken into electron, neutron and proton, that is fission. The atom bomb is a fission instrument. The world is going crazy trying to find fission. The first person who is able to control the energy created by fission, all of the world's energy problems would be solved forever. Because that's what is happening in the sun. Hydrogen molecules are fusing with each other and creating energy in the process. That's what we are living on. Anyway, I went a little bit on the tangent. We were talking about the truth. The laws created by the true self. A scientist does not stop for a minute and say, okay, I have written books and I have told the world and I am misleading them in believing that, look, this is the very law of nature. Law of electricity, law of sound, laws of electromagnetism, law of gravity, on and on and on. What are these laws? Laws of nature. What is nature? Now I'm stuck. How did electromagnetism become different than the electricity? How did the sound become different than the light? Who decided these properties? Where did they come from? Who determined them? That the light will behave this way and electromagnetism will behave that way. And if there is a space and you put water molecule in it, this will be the end result. And we see that all the time, right? When it rains, we start earthworms coming out of the grass. Water and the matter presents itself in the form of a life. Go one step back and say, how did this happen? Who's responsible for this? And the scientific answer, these are the properties of matter. And they stop at there. So science can tell you what it is, but science will never be able to tell you why it is. That is the biggest catch. And young people who will go to the colleges and then will discuss theory of evolution there, it is for them to take up this matter. But the message for us was, Jo sach ratte tere sacho bhave. The one who is on the path, other than the truth, nothing is going to be pleasant or acceptable. You'll be surprised, I listen to the atheist and scientists more than I listen to the mystics. And all the scientists are saying, we just haven't found the right answer yet. We will. We are not going to give up. We do not need the God. We will find out how something can be created out of nothing. But they won't take one step back and say, something to be created out of nothing, this very decision, whose decision is this? That question they will not ask. For a mystic, that question is the first question, not the last question. That's the difference. A mystic asks that question right in the beginning. My hand is moving is not just a skeletal and muscular contraction and expansion process, as a biochemist will tell you. Somebody asked that question when they were giving the lecture, and they said, well, it's all explained in the books of chemistry. How the electrons and the protons and the molecules and all that, how they work. Go study chemistry. No. A mystic will say, who created the chemistry? I will study the chemistry once I know who is the originator of all of this. Physical laws, chemical laws, electrical laws, mechanical laws. We have just observed those laws operating in the universe, but we are not either the creator of this or the cause of this. We are just the observer of this. And if you accept this, then you are on the right track. Because now you are asking the truthful question. You are not there to satisfy your ego and arrogance. How many books, how many Nobel Prizes, how much known and how much money and how much name and fame. No, what is the truth? Scientists claim that we are on the path of truth, and the truth to us is what we can actually test by observation in the lab. Okay? Who is the originator of that thought? Oh, that's me. I am a scientist. This is my thought, which is, I will only accept if I can measure it in the science lab. And the religion proponents will say, we don't need to do all of that. We just need to read the books. Now the interesting thing is, everybody says, this is the direct word of Allah, the Jehovah. Every scripture is the direct word of Jehovah's or the Allah's or the Muhammad's or on and on and on. And we will take up your question today. I haven't forgotten it. Unless you have already discovered the answer.
I have not.
We will take up that question. जो सच रते तेरे सच्चो भावे आपे दे न पछोतावे. He has created these laws. He has given us आपे दे. He has given those. Na pachhotave. He is not at all sorry for the entire creation. Why? It is His creation. Nothing is by default. Everything is by design. For someone to say that God made the angels, but He did not know how the angels were going to behave. God made the man and the woman, but He didn't know how they are going to behave. And unfortunately, they behaved even against the specific direction of God. And nobody stops right there and says, hold it. Who created the capability for the created man to go against the will of the Creator? Nobody asked that question. You ask a robotic engineer who's designing and building the robots, can the robot do something that has not already been programmed by the programmer? Is it possible? How can the creation, if you have not already given the capability to the creation to do this or to do that, how can the creation come up from their own mind, this one I will take and this one I will reject? We don't ask these questions. But when you are on the truth, You will ask the question, you will seek the answer, and when you start seeking the answer, he will apply it. He will give you the answer. But you have to seek from him, not from the preachers, not from the literature, not from the scriptures, not from the books. Seek from him. And then when you seek from him, what happens? Gur ka shabd sada sach rata jata mil sache sukh paavni-aa. When you ask from him, Gur ka shabd. When you ask about that word, what happens? Sada sach jata. He opens the book for you, say, look, this is what is meant to be. And when you are seeking that level of truth, now you are on the path of mil sache sukh paavni-aa. Now you are on the path for the ultimate everlasting bliss. Those who are on that path, here is some characteristics of those souls, which is koorh kusat tinaa laagai, gur parsaadee andin jaage, nirmal naam vasai ghat bheetar, jotee milaavani-aa. Koorh kusat, falsehood, meaning opposite to the truth. Kusat, sat means the purest, kusat means the one who's not the truth. Koorh means something that's temporary, comes and goes. Those are on that path. Koorh kusat tinaa laagai. This type of impurity doesn't touch them there. They are not affected by it. Because they can observe both. They can see this side, they can see this side. So they are not entrapped by it. What has happened to them? Gur parsaadee andin jaage. Now they are alert from within forever. Andin, day and night. They are now worthy of the grace. They are so alert that nothing touches them. And you start training yourself to be alert. That's what the meditation is all about. I was reading Eckhart Tolle on the plane, and somebody asked him, you've been talking about now, but I don't know how to be in the now. The name of the book is The Power of Now. Some of you may have seen it or read it. And those who asked the question, he put them immediately to the test. And he asked everybody, sit down, close your eyes, and wait for your next thought to come. No, everybody is sitting and say, when is my next thought? 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 What do you think happened? Observe again. Close the eyes. When will my next thought come? Where is my next thought? 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 What's happening? That is the thought, and they are meditating on it. They are repeating that word. And when after 5 minutes, say, open your eyes, and everybody says, my God, for 5 minutes there was no thought. Hilarious. take your word. If this helps you to get rid of all thoughts except, where is my next thought? Where is my next thought? Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Sooner or later, you have to realize that this very thought is your Achilles heel. You need to get rid of this. You need to get rid of this asking capability. You need to, because when you tell the mind, wait for the next thought, it becomes very alert. And he presents them with a simile, a word picture. Have you ever seen a bird sitting in front of the hole, waiting for the earthworm to come out that he can catch it right away? Be that bird and wait for that worm to catch it right away. Your thought is the worm and you are the bird. Become alert. Don't let it mix for even a fraction of a second. Now, thought is going to hide and the mind is going to wake up. Different devices, different technique of meditation. But the reality, the real effect is what? Get on the path. Koorh kusat na laagai. The falsehood doesn't touch them. Why? Gur parsaadee anden jaage, because now they have become alert to catch that worm, to catch that thought. The moment that thought comes, get the hell out of my way. I know you are mine, but I am not anymore in love with you. I don't need you, I don't want you, I don't care about you. Just go away. When you do that, what happens? Nirmal naam vasai ghat bheetar jotee milaavani-aa. Then the purest form of the energy wakes up from within you. And now you are getting groomed, getting ready to jotee milaavani-aa, to become one with the one. You are being groomed for that. But if you do not do that, here's your destiny. Trai gun pade har tat na jaaneh. Trai means three. Tamo, rajo, sato. Trai. If you are trapped in either on the self or on your immediate environment or on the creation, these are the three levels of your existence. Focus on the self, focus on that is tamo, focus on the environment, family and friends, that's the rajo, focus on the creation, not the creator, creation, that's your sato, that's the dragon. If you are trapped in any one of these three, then har tat na jaaneh. You are going to miss the essence. Tat means the essence. You are going to miss the essence. You are not going to find it. You are not going to experience it. Then what would happen? If you don't get the essence, moolhu bhulay gur shabd na pachhaaneh. That means the very foundation has been put wrong. Moolhu. Mool means the beginning. The very first step has been taken wrong because gur shabd na pachhaaneh. The word given to you, you don't recognize, you don't accept. On this trip, there was a very interesting experience that someone is trying to find out if I am capable of performing miracles. How? Can he touch somebody's forehead or bless somebody's to change their life? Where does this question come from? The power of word, the miracle of word is not acceptable, but the miracle of touching the forehead or hitting the top of the head is acceptable. Sending the word is not acceptable. The entire humanity is looking for that. When somebody comes with a long robe, and that's what we do. Let me get closer and touch his robe. Let me touch his feet. Let him put his hand on my head. What he says, what he does, that's not important. Perform a physical miracle. Who falls into that trap? Trap gun pade, har tat na jaaneh. Trapped in the illusion of the three levels of existence and forget the foundation. Moolhu bhulay, gur shabd na pehchane. The word is unacceptable. When the word is unacceptable, everything else disappears. End result, moolhu bi-aapay, kichh soojhai naahee. What's the end result? Attachment. Moolhu. Attachment. Because since you are believing only in the power of the physical, if I come to you and put my hand on your head and you suddenly feel something you have not felt, wouldn't you get attached to me? But if I sit here, you sit there, and my word creates a little disturbance inside you, can the attachment take place now? It can't. Because you do not relate that with the power of the word. You are relating that with your own understanding of the word. You will translate it, you will interpret it, that the word came to me and I understood it this way, and this understanding has created a little disturbance. You see the trap? That trap is being described here, moolhu bi-aapay. When the ritualistic miracles are believed in, attachments follow. When the foundation, moolhu, the very original, is doubted, and the power of the word is not, moolhu bhulay gur shabd na pehchane. If the power of word is not clear to you, you are going to fall into the trap of the physical miracles, and moolhu bi-aapay, the attachment is going to catch you. Once you are attached, then kichh soojhai naahee. Now you will be asking and running around, what should I do? What should I do? I don't understand. What should I do? Nothing is easier now because you have been captured. Tragun pade har tat na jaaneh, moolhu bhulay gur shabd na pachhaaneh, moolhu bi-aapay ke soojhai naahee, gur shabdi har paavni-aa. The attachment will take you in a very, very wrong direction. You have to come back to the power of the word. Gur shabdi. You have to come back to what? Gur shabdi har paavni-aa. The power of the word. So now the question arises, how did the humanity fall into this trap? Why only the three levels are so dearer to us and we can't go beyond it? The answer comes. Say, Vayd pukare tre bhadamaya man mukh na buje duje bhaa-i-aa. Vayd, the scriptures. This is not the fault of the humanity. The scriptures that the humanity has accepted as authority, they only talk about tre-bhed, those three types of life. Because when you are in tamo, you are very selfish. When you are a rajo, you are only family-centered. The world does not matter to you. And when you are a satogun, you only care about what is the creation. You don't go beyond what is beyond the creation. Why you don't go? Because Vayd pukare. The scriptures do not talk about this. For the entire history of the humanity, the fourth level has not been discussed, has not been explained, have not been even tried to reach it, touch it. How can you touch it? You don't even talk about it. Vayd pukare. Pukare literally means to shout at the top of the voice. Vayd pukare. What are they shouting about? Tre bhadamaya. Three types of life. Three types of illusion, maya, temporary life. That's all they talk about. Because they talk about that and the people listen to the scriptures, and only those kind of scriptures, other scriptures are unacceptable. Hence, the unpopularity of spirituality, popularity of organized, ritualistic religions, ritualistic systems. Man mukh na buje duje bhaa-i-aa. Then, since they are trapped in that, they are never going to figure the riddle out. Buje, bujhar, the riddle. Man mukh, the one who is following one's own thought. Following your own thought, you are not going to solve the riddle, and you will get attached with the outside world. Trai gun pade, har ek na jaaneh, bin buje dukh paavni-aa. It keeps on repeating in a circular logic. Tamo rajo sato, tamo rajo sato, tamo rajo sato. That's it. It doesn't break out of this and go beyond it. Trai gun pade har ek na jaaneh, bin buje dukh paavni-aa. Without understanding this, then the life of plus and minus, pain and pleasure continues. Jatis bhave ta aap milaa-ay, gur shabdi saisa dukh chukaa-ay, nanak naave ki sachi vadiyai, naamo mane sukh paavni-aa. When His grace comes, when does His grace come? When you seek it. If you don't seek it, He's not automatically going to push you. Even Jesus declared that, seek and ye shall find it. But if you don't seek, then what? It doesn't show by itself. You go around close to 900 million members of Christianity and find a seeker amongst them. Seekers are shunned by the organization and maligned by the society. If you seek, then he will bless. Jaan tis paave, tan aap milaa-ay. Then he doesn't take hold back. But you will have to take the sport of gur shabdi sahsa dukh chukaa-ay. You have to take the word as your guide and master and guru and teacher. The word, not the body, not the book, not the literature, not the knowledge, the true word. Take that, and what happens then? Nanak naave ki sachi vadiyai, naamo mane sukh paavni-aa. Then you will go into the pure meditative states, and with that meditative states attainment, you will be able to sukh paavni-aa. Mane sukh paavni-aa. Mind it. It is mane sukh paavni-aa. It's not tan. It's not the body. It's the mind. The entire evolution and revolution is in the thought process, in the mind, in the memory, and there is absolutely no magic to do that. All you need to do is just say, I believe it today this, now I believe this, and that's it, it's done. Anybody who says I can't do it, how should we do it? That means they haven't understood the word. There is no process and there is no time gap that you can slowly. Today I will do this, tomorrow I will do that. No. You just, up till now you believed this. From this moment forward, you believe that. Drop the old belief, pick up the new belief, everything else will follow. So that's a hymn on page 128. And we'll take a pause here. Wishing all of you a happy, healthy and spiritual 2013. This is our first session of the year. That's why the house is full. I'm glad you all came. Thank you. And now if there are any questions, we'll take it up.